Hey everyone, and welcome to Prehistoric Kingdom, and welcome with a very special build today. It is going to be somewhat of a connection to the very beginning of my YouTube channel, and today we're going to build a Star Destroyer in Prehistoric Kingdom. Yes, that's true. That's it. That's the video. We are building a fully grown Star Destroyer. For reference, we've got the T-Rex statue to your right-hand side now. And what I'm going to build is like basically a module over here that I'm going to use throughout the entire build as somewhat as a blueprint that can be reused in several ways to make the whole thing appear very nice. A little bit of background story to why we do this. Yes, it's a pretty stupid idea, but it's not like that this is the first time I do something like that in any game. So it is somewhat of a, yeah, I think it's already a pattern, you can call it like that I'm going to try in every single Sandbox game. At some point I will try something Star Wars related. Yeah, for whatever reason, I think it's just like the nerdism and the fanboy behavior of mine about Star Wars, and then pair that with the current Boba Fett series that I'm basically binge watching. Well, in a way, because it's just I have to wait every Wednesday, whatever. So this build again is kind of closing the circle of my channel. Like, if you guys know my channel for a while, you know that I have done already something with Planet Zoo, a couple of Star Wars related habitats. I did a Mandalorian styled one, I did a crash site on Dagobah, and I did some others as well. And if you guys know me very long, you know that my very first success on YouTube, the very unplanned and coincidental success, was basically a Star Destroyer that I built in one of the earliest alpha versions of Planet Coaster back in 2016. Now, that was a very special time. The toolbox was tremendously limited in comparison to what we have in Prehistoric Kingdom. I think the overall piece count wasn't really different, but the tools were insanely different. We didn't even have like a gizmo, we didn't even have like multicolor options, like flexicolor wasn't a thing and stuff. Like, that was the very beginning times of the community interaction with Planet Coaster back then, which still is a very special time that I have very deeply engraved in my heart. It was a very beautiful time, basically the time where I started to meet the likes of Silverette and the Lady, and well, basically the good old Planet Coaster community. Sean McBeard, who used to be called differently back then, and you know, all these fellow great people we met back then. So I thought it's about time. We are at a very similar state now of Prehistoric Kingdom, and I wanted to bring this toolbox to a challenge. I wanted to challenge the toolbox and see what we can do with the scaling options, how well actually stable the overall thing is, because you can see this is going to be a lot of pieces in here. This is going to be ridiculous. I tell you, it's really ridiculous. I had a lot of crashes along the way. I'm not going to avoid saying that, and I, you know, at this point in time, I think it's fair. The game isn't fully optimized yet, and the engine potentially is not meant to build a Star Destroyer. The shadows and stuff were struggling a lot, as you can see down there, but we are on a scale that is just off the chart. It's just something else. I think it's even close to potentially even the real size of a Star Destroyer. Maybe it's a tiny bit off, but I think it's not even 100% off. I think it would be less than 100% off. So it's not even half the size. It's bigger than that. If you take the wonderful Dinosaur statue there as a reference, it's crazy, honestly, I tell you. And the fun part, obviously, is we will have a T-Rex roaming around on the Star Destroyer at the very end of the video in the real-time part. So don't you worry about that. We are going to have a T-Rex on there. And I'm thinking, basically, it's going to be down to what you guys think about this build and how the reception is of it and what the comments say and stuff like that. But I'm thinking of actually continuing to build for each dinosaur in the beta one item of Star Wars. I think that could be really fun. This time around, as we can save these things as blueprints, I think it could be really fun maybe to keep them going and see how much the game, you know, develops over time and what you can see. There is no bigger sense behind that, you know. It's not like as in Planet Coaster, where I said, you know, you can have like a wonderful crazy coaster going through it here, which essentially is what I did with Planet Coaster. But nevertheless, I think it's still very valid to do something like that. And, if needed, we can come up with a story like, Star Wars plays in basically a galaxy far, far away a long time ago. But who does say that they maybe made it out into our galaxy with their advanced technology, and then they found actually a planet called whatever, but it was Earth. And then, well, if that's true, the dinosaurs would have been living there. So, if we do it that way, it's not even impossible that a Star Destroyer and a wonderful T-Rex would have come together, but whatever. On that note, though, I want to talk very briefly about a topic that I had a lot of fun researching. Now, I read a book a couple of years ago, and it was called, I think it was called Zero. I think it was called Zero, but I'm not entirely sure if it was Zero or Blackout or whatever, but I think it was called Zero. And the story is pretty simple. Like there's like a kind of a group. It's basically like anonymous, and they kind of make like some attacks on like bigger governments and stuff to show them that technology can be dangerous. Like they're acting as bad guys, but they're being good guys, however you want to call that, blah blah. And then the fun part about this is that then there is like a journalist. She tries to get behind the story, and there's like a professor that is going to make like he's going to have like a suicide because he knows something, and it's kind of a strange story though. But the fun part is when the journalist is going to research what's happening, and she's digging deeper into the fact that there is like a very dangerous science experiment that's going to take place, and it's going to change time and stuff, how we perceive time. And then they talk about the fact like how different species on different planets have never met. And it's kind of fun because there's like a theory that definitely like the chances that we are the only species in the universe are going against zero. It's basically impossible that we are the only species in the entire universe. However, the chances that we meet each other is not only related on space, but it's also related on time. That means even if there are a lot of species that are close by, it doesn't mean that we see them, because close by could be, a million years ago, and then we potentially could see remains of it. Like, for example, take the James Webb Telescope, which is now going to be operative rather soon. This one is going to potentially see exactly that. They could potentially see a foreign planet with even a civilization on it. But that's, in the first place, nothing to worry about, because it could be like a million years ago, because the time that light needs to travel to give us this information is basically related to time and space, which effectively means that, and this is what is called in this book, the chances that there were a lot of invasive, aggressive civilizations that even already had been to the point of space travel existed, but they pretty much likely have killed themselves during the course of expansion and stuff. And so the theory is that there are like different types of species, like aggressive expanding species, just like the humans, but there are also like peaceful local habitat species that never leave their planet and that try to live in one big ecosystem with their planet and trying to maximize it. And these ones, potentially, we will never actually find, because they will, stay on their planets if we are not going to find their planets. But just as I told you, because of time and distance and space, that's very much unlikely. That's not, not said that we will never find life, but the thing is, if we'll find it or meet it, these are two different things. And this is why the book states that, like, it's very unlikely to meet some, but it's not impossible to find some. And I found this very interesting. I found this a very interesting thought, and also in relation to Star Wars, that it's pretty much likely that there has been something like that, definitely not this way, but it's not impossible that there was an entire civilization of space travelers in one universe, or one part of the universe, in like one sun system, for example, that we'll never meet, because that has been billions of billions years ago, or millions of years ago. And then again, this closes the cycle of this story. It could have been that they met the dinosaurs, and we will never find out, because they left the planet again, and by now the species is basically dead or moved on or whatever, will never come back to our planet, or you know, just look at what humans have achieved in terms of technology in the spare time of like 3,000 to 4,000 years, which in relation to the entire Earth age is ridiculously short amount of time. And if you then imagine how close we are to potentially destroy each other already, or well, actually have been to destroy each other already, I think this theory is very likely. Anyways, let's not talk too much about it. I just found this like very interesting topic, and now I think it's pretty important to talk about this build, because you can see we are going deeply into detail with the thrusters here. I tried to really get as accurate as possible, but the problem is at some point I noticed this game would actually allow me to get into the very nitty details, and at some point I decided, you know what, this leads nowhere, because the amount of time that would have went into this build potentially would have, well, meant that you guys would have never seen this, because the game would have been full released, I guess, before I'm finished, whatever. Like, because it's like you can go so much in detail that I needed to decide something in order to finish it, and I decided to go to a level of detail that from a decent perspective, it looks super detailed and super nice and way better than what Planet Coaster back then offered. But if you go very close to it, the detail basically is reduced, and you don't really need that, to be honest, because you'll never kind of meet this in that detail. But I'm planning also to do some interiors maybe, and then obviously this one interior space can get a lot more detail. In fact, that is what I'm planning. But if you guys want to see more, please make sure to comment down below what is your, and this is now going to be full on Star Wars fanboy, fangirl, fanning action. What is your favorite vehicle from Star Wars, or planet, or I don't know, machine, or city, or space, or whatever? What's your favorite of Star Wars? And in particular, I'm very interested into the vehicles and fighters and spaceships, because some of them I'm trying to maybe build. I'm definitely going to be building a TIE fighter, because I definitely want to have one of those in a shot with the T-Rex. I think that could be fun. I've got some very cool images with like the layout and the blueprint of them, so I can pretty easily build these, and yeah, just like that. And again, there are so many things like the AT-AT and the AT-ST and whatever. Pretty cool stuff from the Imperium as well, but you know, even some of the Rebel stuffs is very, very nice. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what is your favorite vehicle or building or whatever, like everything, anything in Star Wars. So that should be it from my side in the voiceover. There's a couple of minutes left in the speed build, so enjoy that one. And I'll be back with you in the real-time part, showing you around how this actually looks in a, well, I would call it semi-finished version, because there is still some work to do in some detailed areas and some interior works, but I think from the grander concept, it's more or less done. So yeah, I can't wait to see you there. But now enjoy the last couple of minutes, and don't forget to like if you do like the video, to help the algorithm understand me. You know, it's never gonna understand me, but whatever. Thank you guys so much for now, and I'll see you in the real-time part. Alright, so here we are in the real-time part, guys, and you can already see, oh my god, you can already see the wonderful T-Rex here for scale, and this is actually pretty, oops, that's the wrong button, pretty ridiculous. Look at that, look at the scale of that thing. It is just... is just something else. Oh, I actually should have deleted that wonderful statue over here. Do I delete actually? No, I think I did. No, this is it. Okay, so sorry, I was confused for a second here. But this is the entire build, and I think I can safely say that this is looking absolutely ridiculous. I am a very big fan of how this all turned out. There are some issues with the perspective, and I think, you know, dimension-wise and stuff, it all looks pretty fine and pretty good, but yeah, it's something is off here with some of the dimensions, and I've not really a clue to why, but yeah, this is the Star Destroyer, as you can tell. There are a couple of things I want to show you, and this is just mainly down to the game, but look at that. This is like a shot which I am pretty much happy about. This is looking absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I gotta have to close this wall off, I guess, as well. Let's quickly do this. I think we can just rather quickly do this, guys. And now, oops, again, the wrong button. I'm gonna hit play again, so that the game keeps on going. So this is the build here. We're going to bring this back to like daylight and stuff, and then I'm going to just bring this thing over and rotate this. And 90 degrees is turned on. Nice, 1 and 2. I'm just gonna bring this also here to close this box off. This is the idea. I was hoping that this is going to create a shadow, which effectively it doesn't, and you can see that the shadows are my main issue at this point. I have everything on the highest graphics, but still it just not really does what it does, you know. It doesn't do really what it should. It's a bit of a problem because I can't really get this into the looks I want it to, even though everything is just set up fine. I'm not really entirely sure how I will get the right shot of it, because it's not really looking like it should with the shadows, but you know, I don't want to complain because everything else looks just phenomenal. And we can also just use the photo mode. Whoops, I didn't want to click that, but you can see the photo mode also does not give all the shadows, even though I can zoom in a little bit. But I tried everything, like if you go very close, you have the shadows, but yeah, I'm not really getting exactly the shot I want to. You can also get to the night and stuff, but yeah, I think, you know, I'm trying around later how to do this. But I think if we go to the backside, my god, this is so big that the flying actually feels like slow motion. But this is the normal flying around speed. You can't really do much more about this. It's just like the way it is, you know. And we can just also go a bit closer on the field of view. There you go. And look at the tiny T-Rex there in the back. I love that. It's just like so freaking tiny, and you can't really tell. I love that. It's just really, really small, and the size of this one is just not like it's beyond anything I've done so far in a game. Oh, god, it's just ridiculous. Let's go out, because then the flying is a bit bigger. And yeah, here you can see, you can actually also tell that this one is like nicely moving around. You can just basically put this anywhere you want, and then you've got the well, let's put it there. And you can see this wonderful creature is now standing on here. It's like a tiny bit off with the feet, but I think it's still fine. And you can see the gigantic, the enormous size of this Star Destroyer. My god, I'm just a really big fan of that. A couple of things I noticed during the build. You can't go higher than that with the camera, and you can't really go much more lower, even though that is kind of looking interesting. That is looking very interesting from over here, indeed. Look at that with the Star Destroyer in the back. That looks kind of funky, with like all the as if it's hovering above this area. I really like this. I really like this shot. Yeah, I'm just testing around a couple of things here to get the right shot in. But yeah, I will come up with one, I guess, at the end, because that's what I made this for. I'm just so much you know, hitting that point of making a shot, because that's basically what I made this whole build for. Like for the one gigantic Star Destroyer shot, I think. Yeah, somewhere with the shadows. I don't know. It's just ridiculous how big this thing is, and how complicated it seems to be to get a nice shot of it. But I'm just so happy it works. And my god, what are you doing? What are you doing? I thought it was going better, but you know, you're floating around on, well, you're in space. It's fine. I think you can do that, you know. You're it's actually kind of a good test to see how good these things can already navigate. but that looks not completely correct. It's just floating in midair. I mean, it's fine. Can you just come down here? I think that area is a little bit better for you. And now, yeah, this is the entire build. I hope, guys, you enjoyed this build as much as I did, because I certainly really enjoyed it. Let me just show you some of the details. So if you go here to the side, you can see it's not just something. We even have some turrets over here. We've got the pipe work and stuff. I even put these wind thingies in here to get some energy, because you apparently need everything to be powered to have some light sources in. And I was planning to actually, you know what, we can actually test this real quick. We're gonna have to go to nighttime. There you go. And I'm not sure if we have enough energy to the back here to do that, but I want to go real quick to light sources, and I'm not entirely sure if that is going to work out or not. I'm just going to say, oh, look at that, it seems to be fine. That is a good one. We've got this ring light. I think the ring light is almost better. Shall we just put that in the center? And I definitely want to have this in this like greenish, yeah, there you go. This is going to be the color that they actually have. Look at that. I think, yeah, this is more like it, right? This is more like it. Oh my god, it's working. I thought it's not, but I think we can actually get this nicely working. Look at that. This is also looking as if there is already propulsion in. I buy that. I totally buy that. I'm just going to put this here as well. There you go. Just going to put this here again. There you go. Oh my god, this looks actually pretty dang cool. Do we also have like a VFX for that? I think we don't, right? But I think that looks really cool. Let's have a look at the special. So there's water, there's smoke. Yeah, no, I think this is just the way it is, and this is fine. Did I actually add this to the group, or is this one group now? If I click only the light, 3 objects. Now I could technically just copy them and have like a bit more. Oh my god, this looks even better. Like put this. Okay, look at that, guys. And I think from the distance, yeah, you can't even see the lights. They plop. Oh my god, this is so cool. They even plop away. Okay, so that is really cool. That looks, with the star field and stuff, I mean, come on, that looks just fantastic. Oh boy, it's just, can you hear the happiness I'm having here, and the fun and stuff? Look at that one. It's just like walking over here just randomly. Okay, I'm done, guys. This is it. This is it. It works. I'm happy. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm just going to spend some more time in here and just being happy about what I did. Also, why is there no starfield? I thought oh, well, there are here. Oh wait, don't they have power? Maybe that's the reason why. I will quickly check that before I actually finish this episode off. Let me just go quickly to this and then just put one here and see if does this work. Oh yeah, okay, so that's the reason. Shall we just then go in and not have this activated? And I think it's rather good to have just some of them in the... Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, so this is how I can get the energy to these areas, and then just plop them all to the back here. Oh my god. I want an option to power everything, guys. I just need that option. Can we have the option? I basically need it. So let's go down below so we can get the star field done. Is this also... Yeah. I gotta have to go up again as well, and then just plop them as... Oh. Why is this a invalid placement? Anyways, okay, so we've got that. And apparently, I think if I click this one, and then I'm just going to raise this as much as I can. So there you go. Does this create... Why is this not... But... Okay. It's not activating anything here, is it? Why isn't that... Like, where did I even put this? Okay, maybe I have to just do this like so again, and then... Oops, where is it? Dang, I don't see that. Okay, I don't need to do this in the video now, but you guys get the idea, okay? I thought that was just down to whatever reason, but I want the starfield to be everywhere, to be filled, you know, because that looks then even more fantastic. Oh god, this looks really cool. I love it. Okay, never mind. This I'm just not finding an end here. Ah, boy. Oh, this photo mode then has another time of day. Okay, well, whatever. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I certainly did enjoy this massively, as you hopefully heard. And if you guys did enjoy this, please let me know in the comments down below again what's your favorite vehicle, what's your favorite character, whatever from Star Wars. That would be very interesting to know. And also, hopefully you guys enjoy the content, and if you do so, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. There's a lot more of this creative stuff coming in the future, so until then, have a good time and goodbye.